Hello, my name is Masha Nuts. I make friendship bracelets on this channel and occasionally do tutorials like this one. And today I want to show you how to make this Slavic diamond bracelet. It's quite simple to make, but there are a few steps that you need to remember, so let's get into it. So this bracelet is pretty simple to make, but as with all of my tutorials, there is a level of background knowledge that you should have before attempting this bracelet. More specifically, this definitely shouldn't be your first bracelet, though it can be one of the first. But if you're completely new, I suggest starting with my beginner's guide, which is an overview of all the beginner stuff you really need to know. And I recommend starting with the chevron bracelet, for which I have a tutorial. Both of these videos will be linked in the description. More specifically, you definitely need to know how to do the basic knots, for which I also have a tutorial. And I'm starting this bracelet off with a triangle end, which I've already done. I also have a tutorial for that. I will explain the color order in just a second, but that is just the basic level of knowledge that you need to have going into this tutorial. And the reason I do all these things separately is because I make a lot of tutorials. And if I explain this every single time, it would take forever and be really annoying. So this stuff is split up, so it's easy for you to learn. Now let's talk about this bracelet specifically. You're gonna need 8 strings for the background color. I chose yellow. You're gonna need 4 strings for the color of the diamond. I chose purple. And 2 strings for the inside of the diamond. I chose pink. All of these strings are gonna be about 1 meter long. If you decide to do a loop instead of a triangle end, you can. I have a separate tutorial for that as well. But then you would halve the number of strings and double the length of them since you're gonna be folding your strings. But I'm not doing that. I'm doing triangle ends. And for my triangle ends, this is how I cut the pattern. So this pattern is symmetrical, and I started by bringing out the color of the diamond on each side, the purple, then the pink, which is the inside of the diamond, then a yellow for the background, then another purple, and then 3 yellows on each side. And that is where I am now. The knots of my triangle ends are actually on this side, but I flipped it over since I want the knots to be on the back. You don't have to do this, it's personal preference. But let's start making the pattern. We're gonna start off with a pretty simple shape. We're gonna start off with a reverse chevron with the color of the diamond, which is purple for me. I'm gonna start off by connecting them at the top by just making a knot between them. And this, I'm gonna be very careful here because the first connection of triangle ends is kind of difficult to do. But there we go, I've now connected the 2 triangle ends and made a knot at the top. I'm now going to make 4 forward knots with this purple string to the right, and then 1 forward backward knot. Got this string pointing in this direction, we've got 4 strings coming after it. It's going to be 4 forward knots, and then a forward backward knot as the 5th knot on this string. Same thing on the other side, we've got another purple string. This one is going to go to the left in 4 backward knots and 1 backward forward knot as the 5th knot. So I'm going to do that, just a reverse chevron with a backward forward knot for the last knot. Alright, so now that the first reverse chevron is done, we're going to focus on the inside. This is going to be a really simple diamond. You start off by connecting the 2 strings together, so the 2 pinks connect together. Then they go their respective ways. This one goes to the right and does a forward backward knot on the string to the right of it. The other does a backward forward knot on the string to the left of it, and then they connect again. So just a simple little diamond connecting the strings. We then do a chevron. We've got 2 purple strings, one coming out from this side and the other coming out from this side. We just do a chevron and then connect them in the center. So forward knots for the one on the left, backward knots for the one on the right, and then a connection between the 2. So now we're going to be focusing on the yellow strings. We've got a yellow string that comes out from here, pointing in this direction. We're going to do a forward knot on the next yellow string and then a forward backward knot on the pink string. And then we've got another yellow string that's just symmetrical, that's coming out of this side, pointing to that direction. We're going to do a backward knot on the yellow string next to it, and then a backward forward knot on the pink string. Alright, so now we're focusing on the purple string. So when we were doing the reverse chevron, we ended the reverse chevron with a reverse knot. In this side we did a backward forward knot. Now I just need to do 1 forward knot on this side. Same thing for the other side, but a backward knot. And then coming back to the yellow strings that we just did knots with, the one on the left does a backward knot on the purple, and the one on the right does a forward knot on the purple. Alright, so now it's time to focus on this diamond here. We've already connected the 2 purple strings in the center. So the one on the right is going to do 2 forward knots, the one on the left is going to do 2 backward knots. We're then going to do a dot in the center with the 2 pink strings, just doing any knot between them. And then once that is done, you're going to do a chevron, essentially, with the purple strings. We've got 2 purple strings pointed inside. They're each going to do 1 knot. This one's going to do 1 forward knot, this one's going to do 1 backward knot, and then connect in the center with a knot. This knot in the center that we just did, connecting these 2 purple strings, is the same exact knot as that first one at the top that we did. So if you're going to rewatch this tutorial and then watch it from the beginning, I start the tutorial off by doing a knot between the 2 purple strings. This is the same knot, you don't have to repeat that one if you're going to be repeating the pattern. Just go out with a reverse chevron at this point if you're rewatching the tutorial. Alright, now it's time to focus on the yellow strings. Grabbing the 2 outermost strings, we're going to kind of do a chevron, but it's not going to go all the way in. We're going to stop at the pink strings. So on the left side, with the outermost yellow string, you're going to go in forward knots until the pink string, and then on the pink string you're going to do a forward backward knot, reversing the yellow back out. On this side, you're going to go in with backward knots on all of the strings until the pink string, onto which you can do a backward forward knot, reversing the yellow string back out. Now grabbing the outermost string, which is also a yellow one on both sides, we're going to do 2 forward knots with this yellow string and 2 backward knots with this outermost yellow string. And then once again, the outermost yellow strings, this time we're just doing 1 knot, 1 forward knot on this side, 1 backward knot on this side. Now grabbing the purple string, on this side it's going to do 1 backward knot and then 1 backward forward knot. And then this purple string on this side is going to do 1 forward knot and 1 forward backward knot on the yellow strings either side of it. Now grabbing that yellow string that did a reverse knot on the pink, we're going to do a backward knot here, and then on the other side, that same yellow string that did a reverse knot on the pink is going to do a forward knot. Returning to the purple, on this side we're doing a forward knot with the purple onto the yellow, and then on the other side same thing but a backward knot. And now focusing on the outermost yellow strings, the left one is going to do 2 forward knots, the right one is going to do 2 backward knots. And then the last step of the repeating pattern is once again grabbing the outermost strings, 1 forward knot from the left side, 1 backward knot from the right side, and that's it. And there you go, that's all you need to do to repeat the pattern. To repeat the pattern, you can scroll back to the beginning of the tutorial, right when I did that knot between the 2 purple strings. But as I mentioned previously, that knot between the 2 purple strings is actually already done here. And to start repeating the pattern, you're just going to start with the reverse chevron by bringing these 2 purple strings out with 4 forward knots and 1 forward backward knot on the right, 4 backward knots and 1 backward forward knot on the left, and then the rest of the pattern follows. And you repeat that over and over again until the bracelet reaches the length that you want, and then you can finish in a triangle end as well, which I will also demonstrate once I get there. So I have made enough of the bracelet that I'm ready to make my triangle ends now and finish this bracelet off. And I just wanted to show you the sort of shape that I'm going to go with. So this is how I decided to cut my pattern for the triangle end. It's basically the same thing as we did in the beginning, just the opposite for the bottom. So it's going to be a bit of a mirrored design, and it's actually really simple to do. So for the last 2 steps of the tutorial, we took out the outermost strings and we did knots into the bracelet, into the center. We're not going to do those. We don't need those when we're doing the triangle end. So completely disregard the 2 last steps with the yellow strings for when you're going to be doing the triangle end. And instead, you just need to do the diamond with the pink. So the purple, this one going to the left, is going to go to the left in 3 backward knots and meet with this purple. This one is going to go to the right in 3 forward knots and meet with this purple, just like you did with the other ones. And then once you do those, the 2 pinks are going to meet in the center, make a knot between them. The one on the left is going to do a backward forward knot on the yellow. The one on the right is going to do a forward backward knot on the other yellow. Then they're going to connect again. And then the purple is going to come together in a chevron. And that will be it. So basically you're just doing the diamond like you've done many, many, many times already in this design. And there you go, the bracelet is now in the shape of a triangle and you are free to do your triangle end. I'm going to flip my bracelet and do the triangle end off of the back side so the knots of the triangle are on the other side. You don't have to do this is personal preference. And once again, if you don't know how to make triangle ends, there's a separate tutorial, as with the ones for the top, that is going to be linked in the description. And there you go, this is what the finished bracelet looks like. I think it's a really cute bracelet. It's a very simple design, but with using different color combinations and potentially some special string, I think you can come up with really cute variations of this bracelet. But yeah, I'm glad I made this. I think it turned out really cute, and I hope you guys liked it too. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I'll try to respond to as many as I can. Before I go, I want to give a special shout out to my patrons, and especially my top supporters whose names are going to appear on screen right now. Thank you guys very much for your support. I really do appreciate it. And if you also want to become a patron, there's a link in the description where you can sign up and get exclusive perks. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you want more tutorials from me, I've got plenty. I'll leave a playlist linked in the description, and there's definitely more coming, so you should subscribe to keep up. But that being said, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!